Hey everyone, Kyle once again. Welcome back to another movie review. And this time, back to reviewing a film that I would say is a very it's a good film, I would say though, but probably the story people say it was seen the story before though, but I thought it was a pretty interesting film, and let alone it's a film that stars Johnny Depp. Now, of course, with Johnny Depp nowadays, from his roles that he chooses, I just wish he could make films like this, nowadays. But with him doing The Lone Ranger, Dark Shadows, playing the wolf in Walk in the Woods, or the Mad Hatter in the Alice in Wonderland, now the sequel to The Looking Glass. Well, people say that he got, maybe say probably his best role is that he got some praise for playing that, I forget who that guy's name from that movie Black Mass. But I mean, say much because all the films he's been doing recently have bombed. Well, I don't think Black Mass have though, but except for Alice in Wonderland 2 though. But just the recent films, like just Johnny Depp I just wish he could do films like he did for Sleepy Hollow, which is my favorite Tim Burton film, and definitely one of my favorite performances from Johnny Depp. You know, A Nightmare on Elm Street when it was his first film, and just acting as a normal guy, and just. But this one, I definitely say it's definitely a very good performance from him, and we're reviewing is Nick of Time. Nick of Time was starring him, Johnny Depp, and Christopher Walken. And it's a 1995 film, and it's directed by John Badham, which I recognize who this guy has directed over the years. He directed Stakeout with Richard Dreyfuss and Emilio Estevez. That's a great buddy cop film. I could just write some of those lines. I could just say some of the lines that they say back and forth as they're staking out, And I enjoy Stakeout. Drop Zone was a film with Wesley Snipes, I believe. Yeah, it was Wesley Snipes. And William directed also the sequel, another Stakeout. And he also directed Short Circuit, which I enjoy. War Games with Matthew Broderick, which I love. I love War Games. Blue Thunder with Roy Scheider. I enjoy that. I enjoy Blue Thunder. Which, of course, I thought there were talks they were going to do a remake of Blue Thunder. But, and also Bird on a Wire, The Hard Way, Point of No Return. So, John Badham he's a guy I know as a director, and especially one of my favorite films is Stakeout and Short Circuit, War Games. And then he directs this film, which, sadly, this film flopped. I think it made $8 million domestically, made on a budget of 33. And after this, John Bennett hasn't directed a film since. Well, it shows he directed two more films after this, and after that, he disappeared. Never directed again. So, but I enjoy this film, and it's a really good film. If anyone's a fan of Johnny Depp from this time, before doing all these roles that he has done, like Lone Ranger and such, and Alice in Wonderland, or even the dumb role he had in Tusk, which that Kevin Smith film, which I will talk about sometime, Or I forget Mordecai, which is another horrible film with him. Johnny Depp is just playing doing a fake with a fake English accent with a fake mustache of his, just. But that film flopped, and that film deserved to flop, and I wish this film right here didn't, because I thought Johnny Depp did a good job in this performance, and I wish I could do more films instead of all the lame characters he plays, like Mordecai. Yeah, you see, you look at him in this film, then you look at Mordecai. Because again, the story of this film, and also real life, also the executive producer. This is DJ Caruso, which actually who this is the executive DJ Caruso. He's the executive producer for this film. He's the guy who directed Disturbia and Eagle Eye, both films starring Shia LaBeouf. Really enough, and I like both those films. So okay, I guess it's like an early film for this guy, DJ Caruso, who's serves as an executive producer. Will go on later on to direct Disturbia and Eagle Eye, which I think he's also directing in the sequel to Triple X, The Return of Xander Cage. So, but the story is that Johnny Depp, he's coming back on to L.A. on a train with his daughter Lynn, and they're at the train station, and Christopher Walken and this other woman that's with him by the name of Roma Mafia, and they're both looking for a certain person to part of their plan, and they see Johnny Depp with this girl, and Johnny Depp's being harassed by these skater punks that's rollerblading in the train station, and one of the guys gives him the middle finger, and I like this moment where Johnny Depp goes whoops and knocks over a trash can, and the guy is going to fall, and it's like as the Johnny Depp says, that's why you should always wear a helmet and knee pads, because you don't know when you're going to fall over and go boom, saying that to his daughter. I did like the moment where he just says whoops and knocks over the trash can and says that. And then they see Christopher Walken sees him as the good suspect to be part of this, and shows a badge, so he might see some identification, takes him to their van, and they put him there. His daughter listen to headphones, so that she doesn't hear what's going on, and Christopher Walken says, "Do what you say, and your daughter won't get hurt." And he was about to go grab his daughter, but then Christopher Walken hits him in the leg with a gun, and hits him another time. He says, "You listening, Mr. Watson?" And he hands him this envelope and says, "This is for you. In it contains a picture of a woman and an itinerary. You will take this and you will kill the woman whose picture's in there." And Johnny Depp's like, "You're out of your mind." He says, "What do you mean?" "I will do no such thing." "Yes, you will, Mr. Watson." And so he has to do all this by 1:30. Like the time before this is like 12:17, and he says, "If the woman in the picture is alive by 1:30, I call my partner. Your daughter is dead." So he has to do this. So he goes, and like the point where he sees a cop, he tries to walk to a cop, and Christopher Walken's right there. Tells him, you tell a cop or even look at a cop, your daughter's dead. And he says, "I want you," and he makes some consistency. "I want this. I can." What was it? He said that It was Lance says, my daughter's dead. No, my daughter's dead, and Christopher Walken's making him say it, and it was something, "My daughter is dead." But then he makes him take a cab, and has a little chit chat with the cab driver, and says he he was in San Diego. Says that he doesn't live there. He says he went down there for a funeral because it was his wife, well, ex-wife, soon to be ex. She wanted a divorce, and he was about to tell the cab driver his problem until Christopher Walken in the van purposely bashed into the cab, and Christopher Walken says he's still watching him. By the time we get to the hotel, the Bonaventure Hotel, it's real hotel in L.A. So he gets to the hotel, and he tries to slip a message to the cab driver, but he reads it the wrong way and throws it, trashes it. And as he enters the lobby, and there's some people that's involved in this big plan. There's like this Asian couple, the guy who's holding the camera watching him, and he's about to pull the picture of the woman until the people that are on the balcony, they're letting out this big banner of the woman, and he looks at the picture, and it does like this cut 3 times, close up of him is like this and this 3 times, and it shows the same woman, and it's a picture, and it's the governor, and I like his reaction. He goes, "Oh shit." People would say, "Oh, this is," but this is probably say that's like a similar story that's said before. You know, it's a kill. This is kill like a like an official person, like a politician or something before us. But I liked how it was in this film, so I was fine with it. He in first you see there also in the cast is Charles S. Dutton from he's been films like A Time to Kill. Of course, he was in Alien 3. But he's a guy who's named Huey, and he has like he has a prosthetic he has a prosthetic leg, and which he says that he's disabled. He can't hear though, even though he's not though. He's using it to make some money to doing shoe shines. There's a scene where the first time he got Johnny Depp asking a shoe shine for him, and he gives him a 20. He tries to tell, but Christopher Walken is watching. Or to the point where he goes to the bathroom, and he does a payphone, and Christopher Walken rips it out, and he goes into when there's he goes outside where there's this party outside. Well, there's one guy who's also in on it, who's with a metal detector, like sweeping people, checking people, and he as he checks him, and as he goes on his right side, he turns off the device, and because that's where Johnny Depp is holding the gun in his pocket, so he turns off so it doesn't beep, And he says, "Okay, you're good to go." And Johnny Depp looks at him and says, "Oh." I think it gives an idea that he's part of this as well, and he goes to another security guard and with a badge, and he goes up to him, and before that, Christopher Walken says, "Oh no, you're like a worm on a hook, wiggling around, thinking you might get off," and takes his walk and throws it, and then goes to talk to the guy, but the guy knows who he is, so he's in part on the plan as well, and then Christopher Walken has a conversation with Johnny Depp, explaining about there was this guy. He talks about this guy that he knew. He says, I'm not ashamed to say this, but he was a fuck up. He thought I was a con man, always trying to shave the edge. I'll always miss him. You know why? Tell me why I miss him. He's dead. Yeah, that's right, he's dead. But tell me why. And then Johnny Depp looks up at him, smiles, and says, "Because you killed him." That's right, I killed him. He fucked up one too many times. So what I do? I put a bullet in his eye. And then I put 2 more into him just to make sure. Now that was somebody I loved. I loved him. But I got the call. I put him down like a sick animal. I thought Christopher Walken played a good job as the bad guy. Even though this character's name is Mr. Smith, but I don't think they never called him by his name though. But I thought Christopher Walken played a good bad guy. So then Johnny Depp, one thing he goes and talks with the governor's assistant, and shows him the gun, and he goes down to see the governor's husband, and saying this security people involved, and he has this gun. I'm sure it's real, and there's the guy, and there's this older guy who's really enough who's like behind this whole thing, and Christopher Walken comes in and tells him, "Does this look real?" He shows him, "Does this look real?" And Chris Walken takes a pillow, and so it doesn't make a whole lot of noise, sticks the gun next to the pillow and shoots the assistant. And then what I thought was kind of a weird thing they did here, which to me, well, at least to me, I thought was a weird thing. As this scene is going on, Johnny Depp gets mad and he says, "Bastard!" and starts attacking Chris Walken, and he's choking him out. And he goes and Johnny Depp takes the gun and shoots him, and starts shooting the other security guy and the guy away in the front. And then Chris Walken comes in and he's still alive. And he's like, "You fucked up," and then takes him and throws him off the balcony. Which the whole thing was like, it was kind of like either like a dream sequence or however it went though. I thought it was kind of a weird thing. Sorry. But I thought it was kind of a weird thing that little scene right there though. But I think that's like the only nitpick I have with the film is that little off sequence right there, because it shows that after that he's Johnny Depp's like on the floor, and while the three people, Christopher Walken, the governor's husband, and the guy who's like behind the whole plan, talking. So, and then Christopher Walken takes him to the elevator, and then on the walkie, he hears his daughter screaming, which I thought she really, if she was playing. Christopher Walken gives him a kicks him right in the either the stomach or in the groin. And he goes to the bathroom and vomits, and as he comes back out, he goes back to see Charles S. Dutton, and he's just like, "Oh, I don't want to do you because you gave me what was the tip? You gave me a 20." And then Christopher Walken comes, is like, "Come on," he's like, "He's deaf. You won't be kidding me, won't you?" "No, see that? Read that sign." "Hey, is that right? Shine, man. Hello." "Oh." And then Charles Dutton is playing along with his own little thing, pretending to be deaf. So he goes and gives Christopher Walken a shine. That is, they're both talking, and Charles Dutton is listening on the whole thing, and he knows something is up. So as Christopher Walken leaves, Charles Dutton tells him what's going on. Well, Johnny Depp tells him what's going on, and tells him to kill the governor. And he's like, "What am I supposed to do? These people have my baby. I make one wrong move and she's dead. I have no one to trust. Everybody's involved in this. I mean everyone. Except the governor." "Oh, Jesus Christ," that's what he says. So Huey comes up with an idea, and as he tells him to go to the bar, have a drink, and as he's sitting there for a second, you have like all these transitions of all these clocks and the timers, like tick tock, tick tock. Even though speaking with that, the tick tock sounding, the score by Arthur B. Rubinstein, like the opening sequence, and also those playing after the movies over here, that like this tick tock score, like dun 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 dun, and but as that's going, you hear like the tick tock noise in the back of the music. So I thought the score was kind of decent for that. Make it sound like it's like let's just try to make it sound like it's in real time. It's like the nick of time, time's running out and stuff like that. And so Johnny Depp meets him in the bathroom, and he has him trade clothes with this other employee worker. And he plans to go and takes him to the governor's room, and Johnny Depp talks to her, explains to what's going on. And after that, well, at least is that at least the big event in the ballroom, and Johnny Depp is also as Johnny Depp just switches clothes. I can't even say the previous word right. Switches back clothes, and he's washing his hands. The door of the stall is opening, and the guy is still in there. The employee worker. He's trying to keep the door from opening so they don't see him. As he leaves, he's kind of like relieved. And he heads into the ballroom, and while that's going on, Charles Dutton sees the van that's outside where his daughter is in. In the ballroom, Christopher Walken is in another room higher up, so he can get a view shot to shoot the governor. I don't know why this basically makes me keep on yawning. So, and as the governor comes out, Johnny Depp is going to shoot her, but he actually shoots where Christopher Walken is, and the guy who let him through, with a metal detector, tries to go after him, but he gets now ends up another there. You hear a sound effect that like his neck was broken, but because another person falls on him, but it didn't look like how his neck would get snapped because you hear a sound effect like that, but not entirely sure because that was like a weird added effect for that. But that's another nitpick though. But it's not a big nitpick though. And then the other guy, this is the security guy, starts shooting at Johnny Depp, and then the employee that was helping him out pushes like this big cart of food, and the guy gets electrocuted. And the governor is still alive because of her bodyguard protected her, and the husband is not happy. He's like, oh man, I'm in trouble, So, and then Charles S. Dutton goes to the van where his daughter is with the woman named, well, Mrs. Jones was her name though, but doesn't say her name though. And he's like pretending, oh, I'm just giving you the gift of a clean windshield, and he says, are you to pay me? I ain't paying you nothing. Oh, you're gonna deny me a lousy $1 after swelling a big even gift of a clean windshield? And he starts takes the walkie. He's like, I think this is worth $1. And then and he's like, whip your ass. And then she shoots him in his fake leg. And before that, Johnny Depp gets in a little bit of a scuffle with Christopher Walken. He's on this staircase, and he's just falls on top of him, gives him a punch, and Christopher Walken he grabs a hold of him and like lifts him against this wall and lets him fall through into this pond. And then after that, he goes about to shoot his daughter. Then Johnny Depp comes up and shoots him in the back, and it's like, very good, Mr. Watson. I told him I could make a killer out of you. And then Johnny Depp goes and shoots him 2 more times and kills him. And then Charles S. Dutton knocks out the woman with his fake leg, and he's like, nothing like a good weight tip. And then as the news is telling the story about what happened, the guy who was the mastermind behind this whole thing, he goes and he slips away in his car, as has like how. This is how the screen, like, sometimes in films, like, shows, like, it zooms in on the car that he gets away in, So. Overall, this might be a little bit more shorter than my usual ones, though, but usually my videos are, like, over 30 minutes, though, but it's not that much to talk about this film, but it's a simple story, a father, like in the trailer, an ordinary man chosen by chance, driven by fear. Yeah, he's an ordinary man. He's with his daughter, and he gets blackmailed in order to kill the governor, or else his daughter will get killed. This is basically it, and he's trying to do what he can to save the governor and his daughter at the same time. And I thought Johnny Depp did a pretty good job, and same thing with Christopher Walken. I thought he played a good bad guy. And the film is not that long. I'm trying to see. It's only worth about 88 minutes, so it goes at a very good pace. It's not that long of a movie. The score I thought was fine, especially that was playing at the start and at the end, with like this TikTok type of score. I thought it was okay. I thought it was decent. Charles is done. I thought he played it fine. Christopher Walken, I thought he played fine. The woman that was with Christopher Walken, Mrs. Jones, the character, fine. And I thought it was a pretty good film from the director of Stakeout and War Games. War Games is I wanted you to say either Stakeout or War Games is the best film the guy has done, because I love War Games. I enjoy Stakeout. Short Circuit I enjoyed, but I don't think it's. I enjoyed the two films more than Short Circuit. But Nick of Time, I thought it was a pretty good film. I like the interesting story about it. It was an interesting film. Basically I would put, because otherwise people would say, "Oh, we've seen this something before." A person will die if this guy, but this person won't do this, or else this person will die. But for a film like this, it stars Johnny Depp and have a good bad guy played by Christopher Walken, and I thought it was a pretty good film. So I enjoy the film. This person from American Urban Radio Network says, "Powerful and unforgettable is so much suspense it almost stops your heart." Well, I would say, oh, I wouldn't say unforgettable or it stops your heart, that part, but I would say there's some suspense in this, you know, for uncertain parts. But I do like the film, and for Johnny Depp, especially definitely one of his better roles, that he has done. Definitely one of his better roles than the films he has done recently. I would definitely say that. This film, like I said, my favorite performance from Johnny Depp is Sleepy Hollow. I love Sleepy Hollow. That's a favorite Tim Burton film. I enjoy Johnny Depp playing Ichabod Crane. And shows that with his character, he's not a guy who's gonna sit back and watch. His character gets into it, fighting with the headless horseman stuff, which I reviewed. You can check that out. Check out my review of Sleepy Hollow. I explain more why. But this film, Johnny Depp, I thought he did a pretty good job, and same thing with Christopher Walken. Charles S. Dutton too. But the supporting cast was fine as well. The nitpick, like I said before, how that little, what you can say, I don't think it's like a dream sequence though, but the way it was, I don't know what you say. I don't think it's not a dream sequence, but how the way that scene happened, I just thought that was kind of an off thing for it though. But other than that, though, I think that's the only nitpick, the big issue that I have with the film. So. But I do like this film, so it's a good Johnny Depp film, and him playing an ordinary person, just a normal guy, who he was a guy who was just chosen, it could happen to anybody though, but he was chosen, so to help to save his daughter and try not to kill the governor as well, so. But it's a good film. So if anyone hasn't seen this, I would even say underrated. I would say an underrated film, an underrated Johnny Depp film. I would say, because I don't think nobody talks about this film a lot. I don't think so. And probably people forgot about that Johnny Depp to do Johnny Depp in his performance in this film as well. So probably a lot of people like him playing the Mad Hatter in Alice in Wonderland and the upcoming sequel as well, or him, the Lone Ranger, and Dark Shadows, or even Mordecai playing these dumb characters he plays, with talking with accents and stuff like that. God. I just wish Johnny Depp could just do more films like this film in Sleepy Hollow and stuff, or What's Eating Gilbert Grape and stuff with starring him with Marlon Brando. I guess people just prefer the roles he does right now. Well, except for Black Mass, people think he got a lot of praise for playing that. I forget what that person's name though, but Black Mass. But this film where he plays a normal guy and tries to save his daughter, I thought it was a good performance from him. So overall, I enjoy Nick of Time. It's a good film. I would say an underrated Johnny Depp movie. So. Anyway, thanks for watching. Stay tuned on the next movie review. And see you next time. Later.